Hi, it's Michelle Turner, and I wanted to talk to you a bit more about understanding movement. We see movement so much so, or we understand it as a fixed point of a way of moving, and we don't look at how we move. We don't look at understanding about moving more efficiently. So one of the things that really struck home to me, I was watching Oprah way back when I was doing my training, and I want to say they were at Walter Reed, and they were working with VAs. And it really struck me home. And again, I didn't understand movement all that well, or how we move and how we don't move. And the men were amputees, and again, I'm not faulting anyone. It's just an observation. But they're amputees, and they're using their parallel bars, and they were pulling themselves into standing. And that's great. And everyone was cheering when they stood. But what happens with something like that is you're actually not teaching someone how to stand. You're teaching them how to use something else to benefit you. And we can say this about walkers and canes, and I'm not saying burn all of them, but you have to look at the way you move. So to learn, and I'm struggling, and even babies that you see that they're pulling themselves up to standing. That's great. Until there's one day when your muscles are weaker than your skeletal system. And now your brain goes, great, I can't stand anymore. Or in this case, where you only can stand via pulling up, your brain is still at a psychological function of saying, I don't know how to stand. It really is. So until somebody teaches that system, and then again, I'm not an amputee, I get that, but until you learn how to stand through the system and coming back down again, I'm standing off of one leg, I'm just using it as an example. But I can stand on my skeletal system. Now there's still people out there that can look at the way I just stood, and even myself, and say, oh, but I could always do something better. I get that. And that's what people don't look at as movement. They think that's psychological. I could always do something better. But if you move better, then psychologically you're better, because that function is one and the same. Your movements actually come before your emotions. If I can move through life, then I know how to react through life at a much more sophisticated manner than only having one option. So when you've only learned to pull up, that's great, and you're using your strength. But when there's one day, either after a surgery, you've had pneumonia or whatever, and I'm using great traumas versus small examples, your brain's now saying, great, I no longer know how to stand. And the same goes for kids if they're special needs, because their brains are functioning on levels that are different from you or I. But that's not to say that they have not a right to an exceptional life, just like you have a right to an exceptional life. So I was just doing that a little bit to start understanding movement a little bit better. So thanks.